Welcome to Impact Report Designer for ACT 2010 or better. Once you install the Impact Report Designer or the Impact Suite, you'll find a shortcut on the desktop for the Impact Reporting tool. When you launch that, it's a standalone application that resides outside of ACT, so it's going to ask you to enter in your credentials, username and password, to log into your database. In this case, we're logging into the ACT 2013 database. The first time that you log in, it may ask you to install the default reports. Answering yes to that will get you this list of 60 plus default reports. On the toolbar at the top, let's just highlight any one of these reports. Lights up a couple of options we have on our toolbar. Our toolbar, we have a log on, log off in case you need to log into a second database. We have our new and our wizard to create new reports. We have our running function so we can design or run reports. We have our reporting options. We can duplicate, basically a save as, set down attributes like security level to run the reports, or of course we can delete the report if we need to. We have import and export options, including downloading from the web. We may publish new reports over the course of the month or since the last install or update, and this would download any new reports that we have published directly into your desktop. We have skins. You can change the color of the designer, and then of course our basic about and help buttons over here. So let's start with the run button. Using the mouse, I'm selecting activities open by user reports, and I'm going to click on run. What this run button does is it now is loading up this report from the hard drive, checking security levels, making sure that we logged in with appropriate security, and then it's going to bring forward our run window. This run window that opens up gives us the report criteria. It remembered the last time we ran this report, and that's a setting that we have over here in the upper right to remember the last report criteria, or to never remember it, or to ask the prompt to save it. In this case it remembered it, and as we can see we have conditions like the activity is cleared as false, the start date is between 2006 and 2013. We're doing at such a large range because this is the ACT demo database. It doesn't have a lot of records in it, so we want to see some full page reports by using those 7 years. And a third criteria, the organizer equals Chris Hoffman. So again, these are conditions that we can change, but I'm just going to click here and say preview this report. Using that criteria right now, it's querying the ACT database and bringing back the data in the layout that we've chosen. So here's our report now. We have 8 pages of the report. I can jump to different pages by using these buttons, navigation buttons here. I can just scroll down the page. It's basically a page preview here. If I want to print this, I can just hit the print buttons now. If I want to email this, I can just select this email, and it's going to ask me which format we want to email to, a PDF, an RTF. If I just need to export this to my desktop, need to pop it onto the server and a PDF file, we can just run it to PDF right here. So that's the print preview tab. And if we want to change the parameters, we can go back to the report parameters right now and say, well, the organizer equals Chris Hoffman. I want to see all of Ernst's reports, Ernst activities. So he's the organizer now, and let's go to print preview, and now we see all of his activities. If we need to add or remove any of the criteria, that's what these green plus signs and X's, red X's are. I could remove this criteria here, and using a plus sign I can add new criteria, and this time I want to say that let's use a field here, that the duration of the appointment was greater than 10 minutes. So I can just use duration as an example. I'm going to go in and preview this, and now we can see the minutes, which is a duration. So this report is 10 pages based on that report criteria. Once you're done running the report, you can just hit the close button here, and that will close it out. If I wanted to design this report, you could design them from scratch. You could duplicate this report or design a report that's online. I'm just going to highlight the report and click on the design button. Again, this is going to take a couple of seconds here as it checks security models against the ACT database to make sure that you have appropriate security privileges to modify this report. And it's also opening up our robust report designer. Okay, so here it is opened up for us. Now I'm just going to spend a minute here on this design interface. We have other webinars that will go into this in much more detail. But the basic sections of it here is, of course, we have our toolbar at the top where we can change fonts and settings and left align and right alignments. If we come down to here to this section, this is the report layout right here, and this is telling us the organizer's name, and then here's the date, time, minutes, property. I can see it's property by, it has a header above it, so that's the property column here. And this is where you can do different layouts. I can drag things, move them around, and I want to put the cleared field. I'm going to bring cleared right to here, and there's the cleared field. So I added a field that simply to my report. At the bottom section here, we see the grouping and sorting. So right now I am grouping by the organizer, and I'm sorting by the activity type and then the date, the time. So we have many sort and group options over there. On the right hand side, this is a list of all the fields that we can add to the report. We're pulling just from the activity table, so this gives us a list of all the fields in the activity table that we can pull from. Down here at the bottom, we have different sections. This is the Report Explorer. Gives us a banding mechanism of what is on the screen. So as I select each element, we can see that that element's also being selected on the screen. Field list is what we just came from. The toolbox, this gives us the ability to add new elements like labels and shapes and panels right onto the report. And then the fourth one is the property tab. So property tab, if we highlight any one of these objects, it's going to give us the property of it. So I can see that this is a font set to 15.75, which is 16-point font. So again, that's the property section over here. At the top, we have three tabs at the top. Columns, which is what we're working on, the column, the designer side of it. Page layout. Now if I go to page layout is just like a page preview, except for we're not running any criteria against it. So it's taking all the data from the ACT database and bringing it into a page preview or a page layout. So you can see under this case, we actually have 51 pages on the report because of no criteria. This is a great way to go back and forth between the columns and the page layout. So I want to go and do something like, let's just undo. I'm going to delete that object, and I'm going to resize this regarding, and I want to see what that looks like right now. I can just go to the page layout, and again it gives me a representation of this report. The third tab at the top is the query builder. Now for those of you that don't know SQL, this is actually done for you. Very simple. As you were building up through the wizard and different interface elements, the query was done. For those of you that want to do query, this is a full ad hoc query designer where I can come into here and edit this select statement, which is the same as the query statement. That's the statement that pulls the data from the ACT database. So very easy. I want to add the accessor ID. I add that. The interface has updated the accessor ID into the statement for me. If I want to be manual about this, I can remove this manually, and that's now removed, and I'll go and rerun the query since I did it manually. And as you can see, the accessor checkbox has been removed, and that information is there. Running the query manually presents you with a list of all the data that matches this query. And this is just the raw data that's brought back from the ACT database into this grid at the bottom of the list. It's this information from this grid that is actually pushed in through the columns that you designed over here and inevitably comes to the page layout in here. Okay, that's the report designer. Let's close that down. Save changes, say no for that. We have an auto run functionality, which I can come into here and say, I want to run this report at a specific time, specific date, and I want it to go to a PDF, and I want it emailed to all the sales guys' tablets, or all the sales guys' email address, or the CEO needs the monthly numbers. This is where you would come in and set up auto run. And again, there'll be a section on auto run, how to set that up on a different webinar. Okay, that runs about all the major functionality of the Impact Report Designer. I want to thank you for attending and look forward to additional webinars from us.